Welcome to a beautiful, beautiful lock that I got from VDE. Yeah, Viktor, thank you so much for this great lock. It's a wonderful lock with this lion here on the front and lion here on the back. And yeah, the way it looks like is exactly like I know the Yale lock. So here's one for comparison. You see the cutouts and the whole way it is made is exactly like a Yale. But it doesn't say Yale, and it has a cross-keyway. Pretty cool. It's from Mexico, and it was put on display at a locksmith shop, and so Viktor got it, and now it's in my lock lab, and it will stay there for sure. That's a great collector's item. Yeah, no key for this lock and a cross keyway. So I made myself a tension wrench or tension bar that fits exactly in one of these smaller gaps. So you maybe recognize that there are three small cutouts here, keyways so to speak, and one wider. And that's because the key should go only in one direction or in one orientation. And to make it easier, there is one red dot, so that insertion of the key can be done without much trying out. There are two rings, and I have no idea why there are two rings, but they do turn both. So when I tension the lock, so in here the tension wrench fits very nicely here in the gap. So you can see the inner ring moves and also the outer ring more or less independently. So not sure why this is the case, but let's pick it. So I apply, oops, maybe I take that gap here. I have to apply a lot of tension to cause the pins to bind. Otherwise, no chance of picking this lock. So I use a deforest because then I can also pick the pins underneath the tension bar. Just the lightning a little bit. So let's get started. One little click, nothing more. Pin 1 is binding here. Little click and it's set. Nothing here. Nothing there. So not a lot of finesse required here, just a little bit of brushing and checking the pins. It's more like a raking with a deforest. There's one pin binding. Okay, got it. So sometimes these pins cannot be brushed out of the way, then you have to single pin pick them. But beside of this, I just brush over the pins, and now I felt a little turn on the core when I brushed the right side. So I believe we're getting closer. And here it's open. Yeah, not a big deal. Tensioning is the actual problem. I tried a lot of different tension wrenches, and you can tension a lock with a normal pry bar, but I have one for showing you. So that's a Peterson pry bar. You can do that, but they don't fit exactly in the gap. So this is a little bit too small, not thick enough, too thin, yeah, too thin, and it's also a little bit too wide. So it works, but you risk of damaging the keyway. So that's why I made this tension bar, and it fits nice and snug here in the gap, and it's also not sticking out too much, so that you can Also pick the pins underneath the tension bar because I don't like to switch positions while picking the lock. Yeah, so that's the lion lock that looks like a Yale padlock picked. It's a beautiful, beautiful lock with this lion here on the front. If anyone knows if this is a Yale just with a lion on the front, or if anyone knows what these two rings, what the purpose of these two rings are, or of this additional ring, please let me know in the comments. Other than that, Viktor, thanks again for this great lock, and everybody else, thank you very much for watching. Happy picking and bye bye. Cheers, guys!